Hey, I'm Adam Wasser from New York City. I'd just like to talk to you all about world travel and hosteling it around the world. I haven't been to a lot of places in the world. I've been to Egypt, Israel, Italy, Yellowstone region, Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Hawaii, and maybe I'm forgetting something or other. But nonetheless, I always hostel it, whether it's with my father going up and down the Nile in Egypt, or with my sister going from Cancun, Mexico down to Guatemala. Hosteling it is the best way to travel when you're on a budget, and even when you're on a medium-sized budget, it is the best way to travel. You know, in America, hostels are not so grand, but you can find great accommodations nonetheless. Me and my father were down in New Orleans last year, and we stayed at a hostel that was more like a hotel, private room, private bathroom, $35 a night. We had a fantastic time, and the people were wonderful and very clean. There's always exceptions. When I was in Honolulu, Hawaii, I stayed in a hostel with 4 beds in the room, a block away from Waikiki Beach, very clean, very safe, met amazing people down there. But then, you know, when I was hosteling it around Yellowstone, Wyoming, Montana, with my sister, the hostels were pretty shitty and even had some mites at one of them. So it depends on where you go. You know, when I was down in Guatemala, I stayed in hostels that were like bungalows in the jungle, looking over gorgeous views with this beautiful situation going on for $25 to, well, actually I paid $15 a night for the one in Flores. And even in Cancun, I found a hostel for $20 a night. It was brand new, literally right on the beach. That was beautiful. You know, it was a bunk bed, but it was a private room, and it was great. You know, you can always find something if you really look for it and you go to the right spots. Looking right now to travel either to Central America for a year or to Southeast Asia for a year in India and just move around those areas. And I'll definitely do it through hostels, and a lot of those hostels like $4 a night. And in fact, I kind of find that Central America is a little cheaper even than Southeast Asia, except for Mexico. But you know, you gotta look, because things change all the time. Inflation goes up and down, so keep your eyes open. And you can always find deals. I always go on like kayak.com to find great deals for flights, because deals always change. Sometimes it's always better to buy those flights 3 months in advance. Depends. I found right now $550 to one-way trip to Singapore from New York. That's fantastic, you know, especially if I'm going away for a year to Southeast Asia. I'm not going to buy a round-trip ticket. So in general, a round-trip ticket would cost $1,100 in Southeast Asia, India area. So that's a great price, $550 for one way to Singapore. You got to keep your eyes open. You know, hosteling it, you got to give it a chance. A lot of people don't want to give it a chance in America, but when I hostel, I'm usually the only American or an American out of like 4 Americans. Like when I was in Miami 2 years ago, there were I don't know, 20% of it was Americans, but these were Americans kind of like me, were just rugging it and getting through the world. But it was like $20 a night to stay in a very nice room right on the beach of South Miami. You know, you really can find great deals out there if you're looking. India is a wonderful place. I think if you can handle the food and you don't have allergic reactions in general to spices, India is a fantastic place, and you can get things in India for like $2 a night and less, and the food is like a few cents American dollars. Even Egypt, like me and my father spent a month in Egypt, going up and down the Nile, going to Luxor, Cairo. We were snorkeling and diving in the Red Sea. It cost us $500 for 2 people, and we stayed very nice and ate 3 meals a day in Egypt. You can have a wonderful time traveling around the world. You just need to be adjustable and look at how other people travel and say, hey, let's give it a chance. Always be safe. Listen, in New York, anything can happen. I could be mugged, God forbid, at any time. It happens. Take the chance. It's worth it. We only live once. We can be reincarnated, that's for sure, but for this life, we only live once. And, just be safe. When you have money on you or cards, keep them confined. Don't put them in your pockets. Don't put them somewhere where somebody can pickpocket you or brush against you and grab it. In your pockets, in your pants, strapped in. Just be wary of that, and be careful who you talk to. There are bad people out there. They're going to be friendly to you. You got to be careful. But there are friendly people that will be friendly to you, that are good people, and you just got to know your limits, and don't always take the best deal as an idea that, oh my gosh, this is perfect, because a lot of times the perfect deal is not a good idea. But I find, actually, when it comes to hostels, the cheapest hostel is always the best hostel. I don't know why. I always pick the cheapest, and I always get the best. I'm always happy. Me and my sister, we were in Belize, in the Keys, the islands, and I picked the cheapest hostel out of all of them. We had a private room, literally right on the beach. And yeah, it was hot because it was only a fan and no air conditioning, but it was fantastic. It was like $15 a night. I couldn't beat that. And be careful of the water. When you're traveling in third worlds, especially if you're American and you're not used to the water system, if you're going to take a chance and drink the water, give yourself a few days that if you get sick, you're going to be in bed. Now remember, with the food is used with water. Anytime you cook, you're going to use water, so you're always going to take in that water whenever you're eating any of the local food. So you can get sick from the food, and you just gotta allow yourself some time to adjust to that, and don't panic. Just know where your pharmacies are, and know what you're allergic to, and what's in the food that you're eating, and you should be okay. Sometimes you get sick for the first time, and you're good for the rest of the trip. Don't panic. Don't worry. Just push through and sweat it out, as I say. Anyways, God bless, and I hope that if you recognize me, I hope to see you on travels, Just hang out. Next step, Central America, Southeast Asia, who knows? But it's going to be a big one. Definitely a big one. The epic of a year of travel. So maybe I'll see you there. God bless and take care. Amen.